These graphs are mini computers on your boat. Waterproof mini computers. Like me taking my PC right now, throwing it inside of my boat, and then taking off, you know? They're so finicky when it comes to they got so many different things going on inside of them. These companies that make the graphs have programmers that are trying to fix little bugs because you take in their small group of people that are building these, testing them, then they give them to the pros test them and find out any issues, and then they get released to the masses. So you're talking, you know, maybe 100 people tops before it gets released to everybody has input on what was an issue, and then the people go back, the programmers, and, fix those issues. Now you add in 100,000 people and every issue they have, then those reports get sent to them. They got, Johnny over here online and Bubba who you try to update their graphs incorrectly and it brick them. So then they go online and they complain about it and give the false information to them, send in their graph. They're looking for an issue, find the issue, which is user error, and then they gotta, tell them, hey, sorry, you did it yourself. You bricked it yourself, and then they complain. But there's a lot of different issues that are going to pop up, a lot of different scenarios, a lot of different boats being ran with those graphs, a lot of wiring that is not, you know, up to par to what they had on there. A lot of people trying to run, push 13 volts instead of using just 12 volts and using converters and Milwaukee batteries and like, all this other random stuff that they don't test on. When you start putting all that in together, you're going to have more issues than they can think of. And that's why they do updates because they figure out, okay, yep, all right, if you're doing it with this, if you're using a power converter, this is going to happen. Or if you're throwing a Milwaukee battery on your active target or your Garmin black box, this is going to cause it to, dip in voltage or whatever the case may be. These are what them updates are for. On top of them adding new features. And then when they do add new features, that brings a whole new host of issues that can happen. And then they doing more updates to try to fix those. They're not evil. They're not purposely going out there and breaking your unit so you'll buy another one. That's that's not how it goes. They stop doing updates eventually on these things because as their technology, you know, as they start to expand on the technology that they use with these things, it's not worth it to keep updating older technology that they're not going to use anymore. Like I'd have the HES lives. They just they did this month, or I don't know if they released yet. I haven't found them available, but the HES Pro is replacing the HES Live. So I would think that Live has a couple years left before it's outdated, maybe less. They also updated the Active Target to Active Target 2. So Active Target 1, the original Active Target's probably got a year lifespan before it needs updated. That is not them trying to ruin you with the updates. That's just how this goes. These people that are complaining on their Apple iPhone 13, or 14, that buy a new phone every freaking year, but they'll complain about, your graphs being updated. They're getting updates on their phone. I bet, and people complain about the younger generation, video game fishermen or whatever. But you know what? They have a better understanding of technology. That's why they're doing better than you right now. Update your graphs, get the new features. If you have an issue, reach out to somebody that is working or for the company or is going to give you good information. Like online, I would get if you reached out to me, I would give you good information. I would let you know, hey, tell me your issue. Let me see if I can help you find out why you're having an issue. And don't be upset if it's your problem, if it's your fault. If you messed up updating your graph, own it. Take responsibility. Like, you know what? I screwed up. Hummingbird told me to, you know, do this before I even inserted that card in there, and I didn't. I'm an idiot. That's fine. I do that all the time. I mess up all the time. Own it. A lot of these people, they just don't understand that yet. And they go and their first thing that they want to do is get on the forums and complain. I think I'm almost done with forum reading. I'm getting close. I'm getting close to being done with forum reading. So update your graphs. All right. Read the instructions. There's no conspiracy. 99.9% of the time, it's going to be your user error if you messed it up. And if it doesn't look as good as it did when you had your last update on, learn how to adjust yourself to the new update. That's all it is. That's another misconception.